Hey guys, it's Spludge again, just here to show you another quick tutorial on how to make this very sexy looking Portal 2 like staircase. It goes up and down in a very staggered fashion, and then it kind of resides itself in the ground. It looks very good. It looks pretty complicated, but it's actually pretty simple to make. It just takes a little bit of preparation beforehand, before we wire it, that allows us to control each step with only one button. So I have basically a miniature version here that I'm going to set up for you guys, and all you're going to need ahead of time is the stacker tool. If you don't have it, I definitely recommend getting it. It is a very good tool, and you're not going to be able to complete this build without using it. So let's just create a 3-step staircase, and we just want it to go to world behind if you're here on GM Construct, and you want it to freeze the props and no collide the props, and you want it offset up of 10. So you want it to be positive 10. Negative 10 will make it go into the earth. Positive 10 makes it go up. So here we go. We have our miniature staircase. Now all we're going to do is we're going to no clip underneath each step and use Smart Snap to find the center of the prop. Now we're just going to right click and it will create a perpendicular ladder going into the earth that will let our staircase only move in a vertical way. The next thing we want to do is we want to use a rope, and we want to place the rope basically in the same place as our slider. Now I would suggest that you guys use an invisible rope. It makes things look much cleaner. You can just decrease your width all the way to 0 on your rope, and it will allow it to the rope will still function as a normal rope. It just will look much better, but this way looks fine too. The next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to need to go into the wire and scroll down to wire physics and find the wire hydraulics. Once again, you're going to want to change this width to 0, but for the tutorial I'm going to use 0.5 so I can show you guys what's actually happening. So just look underneath your step, and for each step right click and it'll create a hydraulic going up, and then just place your controller on your control pad that you have. I'm just using a 1x2 PHX piece. Once we get all 3 of our, or 10 or however many, this staircase I have here is a staircase of 10. We see that it goes up from 7 to 17 to 27. So it's going up at 10 per thing, which is what we set our stacker tool to. The next thing we're going to need is to go into wire weld constraints and place a weld latch from the step to the earth for each step. So we're going to go step to the earth, and then the next step, and step to the earth for the next step. So now we have a weld latch for each step and a hydraulic for each step. The next thing we're going to need to do is find a wire button. So once we have our wire button, we're just going to need the value to be higher than our top step. So I'm going to go with you need it to be pretty significant. So since my hydraulic length is 27, I'm going to go with a on value of, let's say, 40. And an off value of 10, because if we keep the off value at 0, the stairs will try to go into the ground, and that can cause the sliders to spaz out. So we have our button here, and we have our hydraulics in our weld latches. The next thing we need is we're going to want to go into wire control, gates, and find the smoother gate. You're going to need a smoother, and we're also going to need a gate comparison, and we're going to go with an equal to chip. So we have an equals chip and a smoother. We're also going to need to scroll down to wire input output and find the constant value chip. I like to go with you're going to need 2 values. The first value is going to be your rate. I like a rate of 10. It makes it look very good. That's what this staircase has. It has a rate of 10. It goes down and up very nicely. And then the second value, you want it to be equal to your the maximum value of your button. So for me, and for this one, it's going to be 40. So one value of 10 and the other value of 40. So now we're going to have to just get to wiring. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to change the wires and make it more simple so you guys can see what's happening easier. So red wires are going to be wires involving the button as of right now. So we're going to want the smoother, the A of the smoother, to be equal to the button. So the A goes to the button. and we want our rate to be equal to the 10 of the constant value. So as of right now, we have the rate is 10 and the smoother is equal to the button. So when we change it, it will go up at 10 per second, meaning going from 10 to 40 should take about 4 seconds, which is a good speed for only a 3-step staircase. The next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want our equals value. So we want if our smoother is equal to 40, then something will happen. So we're going to set the 40 or the b of the equal to the 40 of the constant value, and we're going to set the a of the equal to the smoother. So this is telling us that the smoother, if the smoother is equal to 40, then true or false. So as of right now, the smoother is 10. Now when we set it, it will go up to 40, and as soon as it hits 40, it should click on to true, because our smoother is now equal to 40. So now I'm going to use blue for the hydraulics. So what we want in the end is we want our hydraulics to go up at the rate of our smoother. So we're just going to wire our hydraulic length to our smoother. I'm trying to do this as cleanly as possible. It's easy to understand. Okay, so our hydraulics are now wired to our smoother, so that will make our hydraulic lengths go up at the same rate as our smoother. The next one we want to do is we want our weld latches to be equal to our smoothers. So that because our smoother our equal to chip is only on if it is equal to 40, which is our top button. So I'm going to use yellow wires for the weld latches, and we're going to go from our weld latches to the up to our equal then chip. This, put it right down there. So now theoretically, since our equal is not on, these are deactivated. Now when we turn it on, it should go up to 40 and it should click true, and now these are welded. When we turn it off, off. So when we click on our stairs and unfreeze them, they should sit down at 10, and when we turn it on, should slowly bring them up to speed and click them in space. Now, now we know that they're welded in place, and these stairs are ready to go. There you go. That's it. Hope you guys learned something, and please subscribe or like this video. Post a comment of requests or something, and I'll put a link in the description of our server's IP address. And if you guys want, you can add me in game, and possibly I can hook you guys up with some in-game Wiremod help. Yep. See you later.